Hey, what is going on, you dead set legends? And welcome to the Ready Bang, the number one arm wrestling podcast in the world. I'm your host, the Aussie Arm Wrestler, and boy, oh boy, look at the guest we have today. He is arguably the fastest rising star, if he's not already at the tippy top in our wonderful sport of arm wrestling. 18, 19 years old. And he's absolutely taken over the world. And he's in one of the biggest matches of his career next weekend. You got to buy the pay-per-view. Ever since this man came onto the stage, they were like, we need Rino versus Bacho. We need Bacho versus Rino, and we're getting it next weekend. Ladies and gentlemen, all the way from Croatia, Rino Masic. How are you going, buddy?
I'm doing great. Thank you.
Mate, you're looking sharp. You're looking clean. And
Thank you very much.
We're all ready for the match next weekend.
Yeah, me too. Getting ready. Had some obligations with my university, so I kind of didn't get to train as much as I wanted to. And, in general, after the Matyushenko match, I took a little bit of time for myself to rest. And now I'm getting back into shape, so it should be good.
What are you studying at university?
I'm studying kinesiology. It's the study of sport. It's like something like that.
Yeah, look at him go. Bloody hell. Young, handsome, strong, and now smart. Bloody hell, you've got it all, young fella. You've got it all. Let's before we say hi to everyone in the chat, let's bring it back. I mean, when I was 13, I was trying to chase girls. I was misbehaving at school. And you start arm wrestling at 13.
Yeah.
How'd you find it?
Yeah. So I would give it all to probably my dad for kind of pushing me always into every kind of sport that you can possibly imagine. So because we had a gym, we still have a gym, but it's in a different location now. And he always took me with him to train. And I used to train handball. I used to play basketball as well, football, all those different sports. But I just couldn't really find myself in any of them just because I had to rely a lot on other people and their motivation, their dedication to that sport. So even if I was putting in a lot of effort, that doesn't mean that I would actually get any kind of results out of that, just because we had to work as a team. And as a team, we weren't really working that well. So then I tried to find some individual sports. So I started wrestling, and wrestling was kind of fun, but I don't know, it just wasn't really for me. And my dad and my dad's side of the family had a arm wrestling club that was closed for a few years just because nobody was really that interested. And my dad and my uncle that actually started arm wrestling in my city, they kind of got injured, and so they took some time off of arm wrestling. And then I started watching some videos of Devon, and I started getting more and more interested in arm wrestling. And I started training on my own. And then I met my mentor, Andrija Šimić, and he kind of showed me the ins and outs of programming your workout, and he showed me some exercises for arm wrestling, and that's kind of how it all started. And I just got some I don't know where I actually pulled out so much motivation, and it just keeps on going, even from day one. I'm still motivated as back then.
Well, yeah, because it's very interesting because I'm a huge sports fan. So when I'm seeing a superstar arise from Croatia, it's I assume handball or football. That's and it's
or
how tall are you? 6'3"?
I don't know. Yeah, something like that. Maybe a little bit taller.
6'3", 6'4", so then, basketball and things like that. It's, it's really interesting that you've come into arm wrestling, especially where you're from. When was the moment? When was the moment when Reno went, I'm pretty good at this?
Well, it was probably from my early childhood when I was in school. I remember when I was like in fourth grade. I remember beating everybody from eighth grade and ninth grade, and I don't know how the grades go in over there in America or somewhere else in the world. But after eighth grade here in Croatia, we have high school, 4 years of high school. So
Yeah.
even some high schoolers I was able to beat when I was in fourth grade, and that's kind of where I figured out that I could maybe do something with this strength and this talent that I have. And I would say that that carried me to a certain point, but without being disciplined and motivated and constantly trying to find new ways of training, new techniques, trying to refine my techniques that I already knew. I think that I wouldn't have made it this far.
Fourth grade. I'm collecting wrestling figures. You're beating up people in high school. In arm wrestling. How the world works. Let's quickly say hi to some legends in the chat. The Drew 24's in there. He says Reno is awesome. Hope he dominates. Are you surprised about how much support you have around the world? Like,
Yes.
everyone loves you.
Yeah, actually, I am really surprised. Like sometimes I don't even realize that people kind of look up to me, and that's really something sweet. And I love that. I love being somebody's motivation to try to do something, and that's why I take special, like kind of. I try to focus on not saying a bunch of random things, and I really take into consideration what I say on the internet, because I want to be a good example to everyone, and I want them to learn really the best and all of the things that I know. I don't want to put out any kind of fake information or something that I think is like not as good or not the best. So I try to be a good example to people.
Are you sure you're 19?
Yes.
Well, no one 19 years old speaks like that. That's incredible. That's really good, man. That's good to hear. We've got Benji Mac is in the chat. We've got Holly Stewart hanging around. How are you, Holly? Spermies, ass is creamy. He's up and about. He's got the ready bangs happening. Ryan Bussier with yo, everybody. We've got Al in the chat saying it's the Rhino. Let's go, people. He's hanging around. Flatballs 2094. Hello, fans. How you going, mate? What else have we got? King Hoddle is in the chat, which is good. Just quickly saying evening. Ready bang from the Savage Hitters Arm Wrestling. Ready bang. Thank you very much, Drew24. Says they've just got a link to your YouTube channel, which is killer. So make sure. I'm sure everyone that subscribed to me is definitely subscribed to Reno. I don't know what that means. Is that something in Croatian?
Yeah, he tried to type "good morning."
Oh,
yeah, but yeah, a minor spelling mistake, but that's all right.
That's all right. You did try. Now, it wasn't always happy days with you, Reno, because I was having a look at your Instagram, mate, and I found a video that I just wasn't too happy about. So I took a screenshot of it, mate. All I'm asking is, what were you thinking with this haircut? What?
That was a weird phase. That was we don't talk about that.
I was having a look at it. It's just like you with trophies, you beating this person, you beating that one, and then I think you're 16 here, lifting phenomenal weight, and I'm like, dude, that
This
haircut.
was back when I was still playing the saxophone. That was my yeah, that was my other passion that I had, was like musical instruments, and I had really long hair. And then I was like thinking of something new since I gave up on that, and I wanted to pursue arm wrestling, and I just wanted to try something out, and then this came out of it. Wasn't great.
Oh wow, you know, I'm glad that you've got the short back and sides now. That's I had a look at
Yeah,
that. Can't let him get away with that. That's incredible. That's
yeah.
it is good. Yeah, people saying some good mornings. What else are we happening in the chat? We'll get to some questions, guys, a little bit later on. So people are happy that you like jazz, that you play the
Yes,
saxophone.
I love jazz. I
When did
love
you
jazz.
start playing the saxophone?
It was probably a few years before I started arm wrestling, uh, like when I was 11 or 12, something like that. And I tried to balance out the kind of learning to play saxophone and training, and I kind of managed to do that. But I noticed that here in my town, you couldn't really learn a lot about like playing any instrument, let alone like a saxophone. That I consider that one of the more complex instruments to play. And then I just gave up because I saw no way of improving further. That I already like had some basics that I've mastered, but yeah, I couldn't really move forward, so I just gave up and pursued sport.
Wow, you're doing all right at that. Can you just explain to people how it feels, because you've won multiple world championships?
Yeah,
How how does it feel when you're standing there on the podium at that moment in time, whether it's juniors, open, you are the best in the world in your weight category?
yeah. It feels really good that all the work that you put in kind of paid off. And sometimes to people it might not look like I'm like too happy on the stage after I win, just because I don't have some kind of crazy reaction. But that's just how I am, and that's just how I've been, like, since forever. And I just can't really express my emotions like some people. And the thing is that most of the time I get more tired out on my like training. On a usual training day, I get really tired out, and I put in a lot of effort, more effort than I would ever put in any competition. So sometimes after a win, it doesn't feel super like a great achievement, even though it is, just because you didn't break a sweat.
Wow. Winning world championships without breaking a sweat. I'm sweating now. and you're winning championships. I mean, like I thought this one was good. It was a competition in Italy, I think it was,
Yeah,
and
in
you're
Brescia.
just, you're just stealing everything. Like,
Yeah,
look at all that.
yeah, that was 2 years ago. Was it? Yeah, it was. I think 2 years ago. Last year's I won. Yeah, last year's I wasn't competing in juniors, so I only took two golds and two trophies. But yeah, funny story from that competition is that one of the dads from the kids that were in the junior class got mad at me, and he kind of jumped up on the stage and started shouting at me and at the organizers that it's like it wasn't fair that I was competing. And he kind of tried to, I don't know, he was quite aggressive. I couldn't really tell if he was trying to hurt me or something or start a fight, but he quickly got escorted out. And his son later came up to me and kind of apologized and said, my dad is like emotional and everything like that, so I'm sorry. And I said, no problem. Like, I didn't take it personally.
So they're upset just because you can play, like they didn't believe your age.
Yes, yes. They say it's like not fair that I competed, so I felt bad a little bit.
Mate, you're just too good. That's just what happens when you're too good. Don't worry about that. It's gonna be huge. I mean, and next weekend is huge. If for those that don't know, you got to buy the pay per view. It is ridiculous. Reno is taking on Bacho Saginashvili. When you were coming to the super match format, the big stage in the super match formats, were you happy that everyone was pairing you with Bacho? Were you like, oh, it's only because we're both young? What were your thoughts when everyone kept saying, we got to have Reno versus Bacho?
I was excited. I personally wanted to have a match with him as well, just because I think he's amazing as well, considering his weight class and everything. He's really really strong, and he's a high caliber athlete. For the amount of weight that he has, and I'm expecting a war. Of course, I'm not gonna take anything lightly. Um, I I I wouldn't say that he is weaker than me or anything like that. I would say that we're somewhere like close to each other's level, and I don't find it like bad at all for people to compare me with him. He's a beast, and he'll be amazing. I just hope he learns how to speak English or some other language than Georgian, because you can't communicate with him in like any way. You have to always have a translator with you.
Yes, that's right. So is there a weight limit for this match?
Yes, it's 110 kilos for me.
Oh, that's not too bad.
Well,
What?
I don't know. I was 118 and a half when I started cutting.
Ah, okay. Wow, you are a big boy. 100. Okay, so
Yeah,
drop 8.5 kilos, because last time we saw Bacho in a super match, he was 95 kilos. So it'd be
yeah, yeah.
interesting to see how big he's gotten. How big he's gotten then.
I don't
So
think he got a lot bigger than 100 kilos, maybe
yeah,
105 max. It's just not a natural weight for him. I think he
yeah,
feels really good, and at like 100 to 95, that's like his best weight.
yeah. Is that going to be a nice little advantage for you?
Maybe, I don't know. I think I might lose a little bit of power, or maybe not even power. Maybe just I don't know. Depends on when the weigh-ins are. I don't know if it's a day before competition or earlier, but I might lose just a little bit of power because I'm really trying to cut weight now. I'm at 116 kilos right now, so I have to hurry up, and that means like cutting out all food and literally starving myself. So might have
So
a little
yeah.
bit of a toll.
So will you do like a water cut, or is it just
It's
calorie
just not
deficit?
not eating, just not eating. I used to do water cuts, but they're kind of they take a toll on your your whole body. It's not really good. I would rather not eat than drink water.
Wow. He'd rather not eat than drink water. My man
Yeah.
Joe Meek is in the chat. Just quickly, he says, does Reno think any of his previous opponents are similar to Bacho?
Well, I wouldn't say so. Maybe Matyushenko is close to him just because of his pulling style. He kind of does the same thing, kind of goes with side pressure a lot, and I think he's like the most similar one. But I don't know about the Bacho's hand size. That's probably going to be one of the biggest issues. Um, I don't expect to have a lot of issues if he goes like straight inside, even though I do expect him to be really strong. But his hand is just super big for someone his size, and that's going to be the main issue. And I haven't really faced anyone with too big of a hand. Maybe Manuel Battaglia, but he's like a super heavyweight, and but
Yeah.
nobody of his class, so 95 kilos, with that big of a hand. Never faced anyone like that.
Ah, there you go. How big is your hand?
Not really big, not very big. No, no, it's a normal size hand. I can't really kind of
Yeah. Okay.
show you through the camera, but it's it's small, not too big.
There we go. Let's quickly jump because you brought up Ivan Matyashenko. So let's quickly. I don't want to talk too much about your losses, but that pin on Ivan,
Yeah,
incredible.
yeah. It's
What
just
did he say? What did he say to you after the match? Because even Ivan was very surprised and like, oh, geez, this
yeah.
kid's strong.
Well, he told me I Ivan is just such a nice person that you can't even feel too bad after losing. Um, he just makes your loss so much less dramatic and kind of like he just makes it an okay experience. Like, okay, I just learned from this. It's fine that I lost. Um, he's just so humble, and he told me that I'm amazing, and he kept motivating me. And he said, "I hope you don't have anything against me." And I was like, "Why would I have anything against you?" But yeah, that pin was really all up to very very good timing and kind of just being alert. I think that just a second, something popped up. Okay, so it was just being very alert and starting at the right time and kind of going in for a very good press. And I think that I surprised Ivan just because I was faster than him. And yeah, I think that match could have gone a little bit differently if just I did some stuff differently from the very get go, from the start of the match. I think strength wasn't that big of a factor. I think strength wise, we are pretty close. So only if I changed up my technique a little bit from the beginning, I probably could have gotten one or two more pins, or even I could have won. So it's a good
Wow.
lesson, really good lesson that I've learned, and I'm very grateful that I had a opportunity to pull with someone like Ivan. He's really
Yeah,
really amazing.
he's a star. He's an absolute star. And yeah, he does for all of us watching, he does look impossible to hate. Like he just looks like a
Yeah,
really nice guy. He looks awesome.
you can't really trash talk him. He's just so like I don't know. He's just calm, super calm, nice. He
Yeah.
talks to you off stage, or you can even say backstage. He just talks to you normally. Always asks like, "How's your day been?" or "How are you doing?" He's just super nice. Yeah,
Maybe that's his strategy. Maybe that's his
maybe.
strategy.
Yeah, so you take him a little bit lighter, so you don't yeah be so like focused on the match.
Just a quick question. We're going to get back to the Bacho match. King Hoddle there says, "Will Reno ever engage in trash talk?"
No, probably not. It would probably be good for like organizers, so I can like stir up some like fight or something. Fight in quotation marks, of course, but probably not. I'm really bad at trash talking, and I like respecting people and treating people like I want to be treated. So I don't really like trash talking. I like to keep some mutual respect between the athletes or me and my opponent, even though we're about to go fight. And yeah, that's the bottom line. I'm probably never gonna be a good trash talker or trash talk in general.
Yeah, it's not for everyone. Not everyone can do it. And
Yeah,
then yeah, if you do try and do it and it doesn't come off well, then you look even
yeah.
worse.
Then you look like
So,
a like an idiot. Yeah.
yeah, 100%. That's for sure. What do you think? What do you think Barcho's strongest asset, strongest move will be in your match next weekend?
Well, definitely his cupping ability. I think that's going to be one of his strongest kind of things that he will be able to do. Uh, Probably his bicep as well. His speed will play a part in it. I think that I have better endurance than him. So if the match stops, I think that's going in my favor more than his. So yeah, I expect his wrist to be really strong, and I'm not sure that I'm going to really play around with that. I'm just going to have to kind of avoid it and go where I'm strong and kind of hit his other areas where he might be a little bit weaker.
Yeah, I like it. Do you are you one of the athletes that watch a lot of your opponent's footage to study, or are you just I'm just sticking to my game plan?
Well, I do watch a lot of my opponents' matches, yes, but it's mostly just so I know how they pull. It's not for me to change anything how I train. I think I have a really good program right now, and I'm hoping to upload some videos on YouTube soon. I know I had a big break. I haven't uploaded anything for like 3 months, but
Yeah.
I hope to upload some new videos on some new exercises that I found that really do work well for me. And I don't ever change my training for someone. Like I don't train anything specifically for like a match. I just keep on training what I usually do, but I do study my opponents and I see how they pull, what wouldn't really work, and what would work against them, and where they don't feel really comfortable, and what kind of gets under their skin, if you can say
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah.
Where do you think Bacho will attack you? Where do you think he'll go for you?
Well, probably his usual pull to the side is going to be the first thing. Maybe he's going to try something a bit differently if he thinks that I will go into a press or into a hook. He might change some some of his techniques or the angle that he will be pulling at. But I'm expecting something pretty usual, nothing too crazy, except if he learned how to press. But I doubt that very much. But that will be an issue for everyone, especially me, if he kind of pulls me away from my hand and then presses. But we'll see.
Yeah, we will see. It's going to happen. Hey, guys, next weekend, the pay-per-view link is in the description. I'll be there. Reno will be there. Bacho will be there. It's going to be a huge, huge matchup and something that everyone has been asking for over the past 12 months. We reckon that Bacho will top roll, which is very, very interesting there. So it'll be not sure where. I mean, I've got no idea where it'll go. I'll just see you two go head to head. With the way it's all going about, can you just give people a quick inside look at what your training week looks like?
Yeah. So I have 2 main days that I constantly do on repeat, so I don't have some 7 week long planned out like a cycle of training. I just have 2 days planned out, and they are defined by the first two exercises. Yeah, you could say that. So the first day I call it like bicep day or hook training day, where the first exercise is like static back pressure, but with my bicep instead of my brachioradialis. So I'm supinated while lifting the back pressure lift. And the second day is back pressure day or top roll training day, something like that. And I'm doing the classic back pressure, but just pronated. And then I always like make exercises for that day that would suit the technique that I'm trying to train. So if I'm training hook, I'm going to try to do cupping with my small finger and my ring finger, and I'm trying to cup in some like weight, and I always do progressive overload, of course. That's very, very important. I wouldn't recommend anyone to do that kind of bodybuilding type stuff, even though I have one exercise that I do more reps with, but it's just to kind of keep my arms healthy more than like make them stronger. So I would recommend everybody to just research a little bit about progressive overload, and that will help you a lot in arm wrestling, and you will definitely get stronger a lot faster. And yeah, it would just consist of exercises that simulate that movement in that technique that I'm trying to train for that day.
Yeah, there you go. It's gonna be brilliant. Okay. Progressive overload.
Yeah,
You heard it from the champ first. I think he knows a thing or two
yeah.
about training. He just goes around the
Yeah,
world.
and one more thing, I would like to suggest everyone to, if you're trying to find some exercises to do, look at arm wrestlers that got to the point where they are with really good training, like really good training, and don't look at like I might get a little bit of backlash for this, but don't look at John Brzenk. He's just super talented, and he himself said that he doesn't train a lot. He does a lot of table time. That won't work for everyone. So
Yeah.
you probably aren't John, and you probably won't be John. So try to find someone that got to a very high place in arm wrestling with good quality training. That guy has the best exercises and best like tips and tricks. Listen to him.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Brock Tong Dog is in there and he's asking, have you ever gripped up with Bacho before?
Uh, yes, I have gripped up with him, but not on the table. When we were in Worlds in Kazakhstan, I met him for the first time, and we just shook hands and gripped up like usual. And he didn't really feel that uncomfortable, but I'm probably going to feel a lot more uncomfortable on the table when I'm actually paying attention to how his arm feels. So yes, I have gripped up with him, and it's not too bad.
Well, on the day for King of the Table 10, where in the order of matches do you prefer to pull? Are you someone that likes to be early on in the night? Do you like to be the main event? If you could put the order of the matches, where would you like to go?
Probably second or third, not really the
Yeah.
first match. I need to just kind of get into my mental, game. Kind of get ready for the match mentally. So if I had like the first match, it wouldn't be too bad, but I would like someone to go before me. And being the
Okay.
main event wouldn't be bad as well, but just that waiting would literally kill me mentally. So I would probably prefer to be somewhere in the middle. That'd
Yeah.
be like the best.
Now you've competed at Worlds, which goes for 7 days. You've
Yeah.
competed at East versus West, which goes for about 8 hours. What is your if you were booking an event? All right, it's Reno's Croatian Killers Supermatch series. How many
Yeah.
matches would you have on your event that you think would be awesome for arm wrestling fans?
Well, I probably wouldn't put that many matches just because I wanted to make it. I would like to make it a little bit more watchable. So maybe maximum of like 8 or 7 matches, like that. That would be the maximum. And I would put like, of course, I would try to find some really good matches for people to watch. And yeah, I think the issue probably is that like some people don't have the time to watch East versus West for that long. So I would definitely like to have a little bit less matches, and with that, I would probably have a little bit less expenses as an organizer for all the athletes. So I think that would be like the number one thing.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's all right for me because it's 3 a.m. when East versus West starts. So I
Yeah,
got
yeah.
time.
So
Everyone's asleep in
of
Australia.
course, yeah, and time zones as well are tricky, really tricky. So I try
Oh,
to like find a good time zone for everyone.
it's going to be brilliant. Let's just get your quick predictions, Reno, on the rest of the card that you're
Yeah,
going to be competing on at King of the Table 10. So we've got Matt Mask and Derek Smith. Who do you think will win that one?
that's a really good match. Just because both guys are quite energetic. I actually, Derek, I don't know if he's super energetic, but I have seen him like kind of lift the audience a little bit with his performance on the table. But we don't have to say anything about Mask. We all know about his uh, kind of showmanship on the stage. And I would definitely say that it's going to be tricky for Matt. I would say just because Derek is a huge dude. I mean, Matt is a huge dude as well, but I think Matt has problems with people who have strong wrists and are kind of inside pullers. But Derek goes outside as well. If Derek doesn't go inside, he's going to have quite a bit of a problem with Matt as well. But going inside would definitely be the best option for Derek. That's something that I would suggest to him if he like asked me. But yeah, we'll see. If I had to give my prediction, I think that Derek might be a little bit more versatile than Matt. But then again, Matt had a great win over Wagner right now, so we'll see. I think that Derek might take this. Maybe
Yeah,
it's going to be close.
beautiful. Well, speaking of Wagner and Tubius, who's going to win that left arm match?
Really, really good match as well. I honestly have a tough time kind of putting Wagner's left hand on the scale when it comes to strength. When I tried to arm wrestle with him a little bit on the left hand, I really didn't have any issues. Didn't have any problems with him on the table. But then again, it was side table. It wasn't real match. It wasn't a real match, so I can't really compare that to anything. But Tobias seems to have a really, really good left hand as well. And I think Wagner doesn't prefer top roll pullers, and he has some issues with them. So I think that Tobias will take this. He's, in my eyes, the favorite in this match, especially after Wagner's injury that literally turned half of him purple, which isn't really good. So that will probably have an effect on him.
Yeah, beautiful. Who else is pulling? Lachlan Adair and David Arabuli.
Lachlan and how do you say the name from it?
David Arabuli.
Good match. Good match. Yeah, David Arabuli and Lachlan. Lachlan looks really good right now. I saw some of his training videos, and he seems to be a little bit more focused than he usually is. And I think he's going to come into this match really, probably in the best shape that he's been. At least I hope he will. So again, a tough match, but I think that Lachlan might take this. I think he has the ability to take this.
Yeah, come on, Lachlan. Come on, Lachlan. Coach Ray and Robbie Carstendike.
I don't know so much about Robbie, but I know about Ray enough that I could say that Ray probably has a better shot at beating Robbie. I think that the only problem that I have with Ray, or not with him personally, but with his way of pulling, is that he's quite slow. He's really slow, and he pulls, in my opinion, with a bit too much side pressure. So he goes into the opponent's like lock. He doesn't try to pull open the hand. He just goes through the hand, and on he keeps pushing in the opponent's bone lock. So he might have some issues if Robbie is able to kind of hold him and tire him out a little bit. But I'm sure that he'll be able to do something, and he's the favorite in my eyes.
Yeah, nice one. Nice one. Auden Larratt and the Arm Wrestling Whisperer.
This is really tough for me to predict because I have no idea on what level like either one of them are. Yeah. So I don't know. Arm Wrestling Whisperer is doing God's work when it comes to promoting arm wrestling. I hope he just continues to do that, and it's really nice to see that someone is putting so much time and effort into promoting this sport. He's definitely helping us out a lot, and that's something that we all of us should really consider doing if we want to level this sport up for another level. But Auden is doing really good as well. He has his own YouTube channel, but I think Auden might have a bit of a better chance just because, at least in my eyes, just because he's constantly spending time with his dad, and of course Devin knows a lot of things, and he's really really good. I mean, I don't even have to mention that, but we'll see. I think Arm Wrestling Whisperer probably has more experience than Auden, and that might help him in being more confident on the table. But nonetheless, I'm rooting for both of them, but I think maybe Auden will take this.
Yeah, nice one. And the main event, Dave Chafee, Vitaly Laletin.
Yeah, the rematch of the decade. Yes. Hopefully, both of them stay alive this time and don't get carried out on the table in the ambulance. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. I think Vitaly will come into this match a lot more ready than he was the first time, and I think Dave is going to be the opposite. I think Dave is going to be in a worse shape, just because he's been on a losing streak, and Vitaly is younger. I think he is younger, and I think Vitaly is still getting a little bit stronger with age, while Dave is kind of declining in everything, not only strength. So that will have definitely a big factor in this match, and I think that Vitaly will win this.
Yeah, beautiful. You heard it from the man. There's his predictions. We got a super chat here from OD James 1. He says, boys, I'm on the way to New Zealand in an hour from Melbourne. Whereabouts from Melbourne are you, OD James? I'm from Melbourne. I'm from Melbourne as well. What do you guys think about Matteo Rangi and Rino Masic? Would you pull him? Do you know?
Yeah, I know him.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
His name is really easy to remember in a sense that it's really long. You can't really say it, but yeah, it's easy to remember. I would like to pull him. Yeah, no problem. I think I wouldn't have that many issues with him. He does have a big hand. He's a big dude. He's strong, but I think that I'm a little bit more technical than him, and maybe even stronger in some areas. So yeah, I wouldn't have any problem putting him.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you very much, OD James. Reno, whenever I have a new guest on the show, they come on and they play arm wrestling's favorite game. It's called Pin One, Lose One, and Get Rid of One. I'm going to give you the name of 3 arm wrestlers, and you have to tell me which one you are going to pin, which one you are going to lose to, and which one you are going to get rid of in the arm wrestling world. They're gone.
All right.
Eliminated.
Yeah, sure.
So we've got Ivan Matyashenko. We've got Ryan Bowen, who you were trying to impress with your long-haired video.
Yeah.
And then of course the man that inspired you to arm wrestle, Devin Larratt.
A very interesting roster of arm wrestlers you just gave me. I would probably get rid of Ryan, just because losing to him would be, I don't know, terrible, and beating him wouldn't be anything special. So I think So I think I would remove him. Probably I would like to beat Devin. I think that's more impressive. And losing to Matyashenko, I don't know. Or maybe the opposite. I don't know. Maybe losing to Devin will be more acceptable. That's a tough one. Probably beating Devin and losing to Matyashenko.
Just so bloody cutthroat you are. Cutthroat. Didn't even think about it. But hey.
Yeah.
Oh, he's going to get there. Guys, drop your questions in. We're going to go for about another 5 or so minutes, and then we're all going to go watch Coach Ray's interview with Robbie Carstendike after this one. We jump in there, and April 20th is probably going to be the biggest match in recent history, if not at all time. The rematch with Devin and Levan. At this stage, who do you think wins?
It's so tough to say. But actually, I think that Levon is going to win. Even if Devin takes his wrist, I have a feeling that Levon this time won't care at all and will just continue pulling downwards, and he will continue taking Devin's hand, not hand and wrist, but his bicep and his back pressure, and he will pin him. The only issue I might see is that Levon might get tired, but I don't know. It's so tough to say. I don't know where Devin is exactly right now, because he is right now powering up, getting all of the possible things that he can into his body and leveling up. So we'll see. But I think Levon is still the favorite in my eyes, and Devin might be able to pull out one victory, two maybe at max. But I think Levon, even when he's tired, he can still go for a deadly flash pin that might surprise Devin. And I think Levon will win this for sure.
There you go. Love it. Absolutely love it. Huge prediction. It's going to be a huge match. With your time in the sport, Reno, what's the one thing you would love to improve about arm wrestling?
That's a very good question. One thing that I would like to improve about arm wrestling. We already have a great community. I love the arm wrestling community, so there's nothing to improve upon there. Probably, if I could improve one thing, it would be our presence on media and people taking us a little bit more seriously. I think that people watching slapping competitions more than arm wrestling and considering that to be more of a sport than our sport is a joke. And I think that anyone who thinks that is delusional and simply doesn't know what good sports are, and that's only for entertainment, while arm wrestling can be so much more. And that's definitely something that we can achieve, but we all have to work collectively towards that goal, and it's going to take a few years. And we want to ensure a good, entertaining, and even, how would I say it, a sport that will give the new generations something to look forward to, and something for them to be excited about.
Yeah. Why do you think people don't take arm wrestling seriously? The not in our community, the mainstream.
I think they still see it as not a sport. I think they see it as something that like rednecks do in the bar, and they just joke around. And I think one of the issues as well is that people think it's a very dangerous sport, but they don't realize that there are a lot more injuries and other health risks involved in like other team sports like football, handball, especially handball. Everybody like always has something torn, and in wrestling as well. So what our sport is one of the safer sports, I would say, especially if you learn a good technique, then you literally can't get injured. And if you're a little bit smarter, that's one of the things that kind of makes people think that it's a dumb sport. And a lot of the times when I say to people like, I do arm wrestling professionally, and they're like, "What? That's a sport? I didn't even know that. I used to do that when I was a kid on the school tables and whatnot, and in the bar when I get drunk or something like that." So I think we have to get rid of that stereotype. That's not a way to promote any sport, especially not ours. Same with like darts. If you notice, darts just went up like hugely in popularity, even though it's as well like a sport that started in the bars and just for fun. So we can definitely make a huge improvement to our sport if we just get that how do you say, stereotype out of people's minds.
Yeah, I mean, even at the Super Bowl yesterday, a bloke ruptured his knee running onto the field. So people are worried about our sport. So yeah, Superboy's in there. Says, what's Reno's strategy if his hand gets lost in Bacho's and Bacho cups him? Because Bacho's hands are big as hell.
Yeah. My strategy is to utilize the 3 fouls that I have on King of the Table. I think if you don't use those 3 fouls, you are really not utilizing all of the possibilities that you have in the match. And I can probably go for a flop wrist press. I can transition into something else. I don't really see too much of a problem if my wrist gets taken, as long as I'm in a okay position. If it's not near the pin pad, then I can't really do anything. But somewhere in the middle of the table wouldn't be that big of an issue.
There you go. I mean, it's going to be mega, guys. Rino Masic, Bacho Saginashvili. It is happening next weekend. You got to go do it. The pay-per-view link is in the description. Just buy it just for this match. If you haven't bought it already, it's going to be huge. We're so happy that this match is happening. And if we can, please, all thank Reno for jumping on the show, giving up his time, and wish him all the best for his match against Bacho. Reno, give everyone a flex. Show everyone how big that right arm wet. Oh, Jesus. 116
really
kilos.
Yeah.
How big's the bicep?
I'd probably somewhere around 47 centimeters, something like that. Maybe a little bit bigger now.
Almost as big as mine. I won't flex mine. I don't want to do that. But guys, can we all please thank Reno for jumping on the show, and head over to Coach Ray's channel, because in about 5 minutes he's got his interview with Robbie Carstendijk. Reno, thank you so much for joining the show.
No problem. Thank you for inviting me.
Beautiful.